Good morning. I am live on Facebook and Instagram. So if you're on Instagram, just so you know, you can pop over to my Facebook page, which is probably where the bigger show and tell is, because I have two screens up and I'll be able to give links. But I still love you on Instagram. So happy Monday to you all. I had a little bit of a just a want weekend. Not bad. It was good. I just have got this lingering cough. So excuse me if it seems like I have a lingering cough. I got a cough drop in my mouth. All right. Good morning, Anne. Hello, Deborah. If you're on Facebook, thank you for joining in. I want to talk to you guys. Oh, shucks. I should have put the graphic in front of me, but I didn't. I want to talk to you about the Pretty and Pink Bouquet challenge that is coming up in a week. Is that correct? I feel like it's a week. It's a week. Oh my goodness. Okay. So I had a lot of questions over the weekend, and I'm just going to go over things. I'm actually airing it in the group as well. If you see me drinking OJ and tea, it's because I have this lingering cough and I'm trying to get rid of it. But this morning, I got up, I'm showing up, and I dressed up. So I needed to just read my devotional this morning, kick myself into gear, and realized how blessed I am. And I get to do and be creative with all of you. So, good morning. Hitomi is in two places at one time. Anyway, here we go. So, I want to talk to you about this challenge right here. Kind of needs to be tipped around. There we go. I can show it to you here too. So this challenge is my next art challenge. It is done over 4 days, March 13th through the 17th at 4:30 p.m. Pacific time, live every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I have done these challenges in the past. I was in the group answering questions this weekend, and I couldn't be more thrilled. I could not be more thrilled that people were so excited. And I just thought, I'm going to go in here and answer the questions that have been going on because people are asking lots of questions. And I figured if one person's asking it, many people need to know. So I'm airing this in the group as well. And I just want to welcome you if you've already signed up. If you've already signed up, you're in the Facebook group, welcome. I can't wait. I'm as excited as you are, if not more excited. Okay, just to be real, because I love to teach. All right. I'm going to break up. First, I want to say as well, this is free to your Artful Journey members. Free, no need to sign up, no need to pay $10. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. I'm kidding. It is free. And I will make sure that the videos are shared in there as well. But if you want to be in the Facebook group, it's automatic entry. There has been a link provided. That's a perk of being a member of your Artful Journey. And I want you every step of the way with me. All right. Number one, we will break this down into 4 days. The first day, we're going to work on the background. There is no prep needed. I want to reiterate. The only thing you might want to do is gather your supplies, but there is no prep needed. I've had lots of questions about what should you do in advance. Relax, get a cup of tea, coffee, wine, whatever your beverage of choice is, and relax. We're going to do this every day, step by step. If you've taken one of my challenges before, you're free to go in there and leave a comment about that, and I'll share your comment. But this is really meant for beginners, wherever you're at in your Artful Journey. Your Artful Journey members who are members of my art group, some of them are going to be, there's going to be new tips. But some of these are things that we have learned. So you might be a little further down the path. You've painted with me. But I want to encourage you to know that, thank you, Anne. She's going to put the bullet points in the comments. No prep needed. Gather your supplies. And here's the things. All the videos are recorded live. I'll answer the questions. If you're new, you've never picked up a paintbrush before, maybe you're a little nervous about this, you don't have the exact supplies, you have questions, watch the videos. There is no pressure to paint with me. There's no race. Nobody is overlooking your work. I want you guys to work at your own pace. So for your comfort level is to just watch and then do the replay. You can leave those videos going over and over. So I'll be right there with you the entire time. Here we go. Elizabeth, thank you, said, I started with Tracy's challenge. It's a great way to get a taste of how she works. It's fun and doable, and you'll be hooked. Let's see. I have done several of your challenges. So easy, so fun, and I love making flowers now. Okay. So those are the things that I love to hear in the feedback, because we've done this before. And I just want to reiterate, don't worry about running out, buying everything. I'm a big proponent of use what you have, and I'll talk about the supply list. But on day one, I'm going to break that background down for you. I'll show you how I did it, texture, everything. Because remember, this canvas you should be touching. It's going to pop off the page. All right. The next day, day 2, we are going to break it down. And I provided a tracer. A lot of people get a little bit nervous about drawing. The number one thing I get is I can't draw a stick figure. So the good news is I really don't draw stick figures. Thank you. Deborah said, I love the challenge. I overcame the fear and fly with Tracy. Thank you. I think that's a very sweet thing to say. Yes, Anne said the replays are accessible for lifetime access in the Facebook group. Enjoy at your own pace. You can hit pause, play. You can have me just sitting there with you at any time. And I do try to make it fun, so it's not like watching paint dry. Let's be clear, because sometimes we're going to be watching paint dry. All right, so I do provide a tracer. And I'll talk to you, by the way. If you don't have artist transfer paper, which looks like carbon paper, there's a pencil method I'll talk to you about. There are shortcuts to this in tips and techniques I'm going to be handing you all along the way. But that's really, I drew this. As far as the tracer goes too, that comes with it, it's provided in the Facebook group as a PDF. So if you save it and you want to resize it, you can print it over and over. You could scale it up or down if you want to draw a bigger canvas or a bigger piece of paper or a bigger whatever, or a smaller. So it can be scaled. I made it for a 12 by 12 canvas because I figured that was the easy, most accessible thing, and people like to hang their artwork on the wall, and 12 by 12 makes it easy. And then we'll have a few other tidbits on day 2. Day 3, we're going to focus on the flowers. Now, the most amount of questions I have to do with the flowers. Okay. There is no press, no sewing, no complicated items, no having to do the flowers because you're worried about being able to keep up. You have all of day 3 or the night, and day 4 to do your flowers. There again, this is not a competition. It's not a race. The videos aren't going away. So I had people this weekend saying, I want to pre-do the flowers. No, half of the fun is getting the techniques down to make these easy and streamlined and fast. And you don't need to know how to draw. That's a flower. It was a blob. Okay. people are asking about the paper I use. So in there, it says um, in the supply list that you get when you sign up, and we'll talk about what you get when you sign up. I say in there, if you have book text, sheet music, I don't know, print some random thing off of the internet. It can be on paper. It can be dictionary paper. I have a huge dictionary unabridged that I've had for 1,000 years that I bought $4 at the Goodwill. That's what I'm using. So uh, somebody asked me about a press. I'm not pressing flowers. These are paper. These are not real. They will not grow in your garden. Okay. I mean, they're real to me. They don't require water. They're the best kind of flowers ever. And they'll last forever. So no, you don't need to pre-make them. You will have plenty of time. Somebody said, I have flower punches. Can we use those? I just put those on there because a lot of crafty people have amassed supplies in the past, and I have them myself, that can make that go a lot faster. So some of these were cut out. Most of them were just cut out with me. I'll show you how to, I got shortcuts. I got shortcuts. So you don't want to jump ahead and start making these flowers. I always love when I'm teaching and somebody jumps, because they're at different spots in their art journey where they already know it, have done it. But then I do it and they go, oh, shoot, I didn't know about that. So there's no need. And we're not going to need the flowers until day 4. So you have a full day to do them. And I'm not joking. When I say I can cut out a bunch of them at one time. Oh, and that goes for the leaves too. There's no punch. These leaves are so easy. Okay. So don't worry about that. And that takes care of day 3. Day 4 is the day we bring everything together. I always say sometimes you have to hit the ugly stage. You might be doubting your jar. It's not looking right. It's wonky. I love wonky. Wonky is my favorite word. It's like Dr. Seuss wonky. Okay. I love that. And so we're going to bring it all together. We're going to bring it all together. We're going to assemble it. I recommended an adhesive. I'll talk about the supply list. If you have a different supply adhesive, don't go running out and buying new adhesive. It's just not how I work. Make sure it dries clear. Doesn't even have to dry fast. It just needs to dry. I love this. Thank you. I love the kind words. And you guys are welcome to ask me questions. I'm putting the kind words. Love your challenges. I am there every step of the way. I'm going to break it down. We're not going to get to the last day and I'm going to go, I'm done. No, we're going to assemble everything. I have 4 giveaways. 3 lucky people will get one of my new stamps, which, by the way, are flowers, and you could use them on this project. The 4th winner, and I don't have the prize, but DecoArt told me that they were going to send me a prize, so I know they will. The 4th winner is going to win, I believe, so don't quote me, a prize from DecoArt, which are the paints I'm using. And I'll talk about that as well. But I think they're going to send a pack of paints, a brush set, and brush cleaner. Thank you. Love your stamps. Thank you. I used them this weekend and I was doing something that I had never done. So I broke it down by day. Did I cover everything? And you know, Anne is my community ambassador. All right. So I covered. No prep needed. Oh, I love it on Instagram. I'm so excited for this. I love your challenges. Okay. Okay. And Patricia, thank you. This needs to be said. It is only a piece of paper. I say this all the time. When you go into these challenges or any of the art that I do, I treat this as only a canvas. It's a 12 by 12 canvas, only a piece of paper. This can be done in your art journal on a piece of mixed media or watercolor paper. If you don't want to commit to the cost of a canvas, totally understand. I'm not going to make the promise of I will mail a piece of paper to you. I'm not. Okay. If by chance you just want to do it in your journal or just watercolor or mixed media paper, do that first. It's great. It's practice. You know me, I'm going all in, and I would love for you to be there with me. So this is definitely that I want to say, I know that this is free to your Artful Journey members. And if you don't know what your Artful Journey is, I will explain that as well during the challenge. But they've done my classes. They know who I am. I really cater my classes to everybody. People who have never picked up a paintbrush. Maybe I love the introductions that we're getting of I've always wanted to be creative. Like that speaks to my heart because I want to inspire you to be creative. It's a whole purpose behind this. I mean, it's a $10 challenge. It's a great cost for a 4-day workshop that I break down over the 4 days. I will say the classes are genuinely 35 to 45 minutes. It's under an hour. Sometimes I'll get some questions that'll keep us there for an extra minute. Or I'm just handing you extra information. But I want you to walk away from this experience and say that was the best $10 I've ever spent. And maybe that starts you into something creative. So that's why I say, use what you have, pick the colors you want. We'll talk about the supply list. You don't need to run out and go buy everything. See how I use it. See if this is something you're interested in. This you can watch it and learn. Many people will paint with me, and I love that. But many of you will say, I just want to sit and absorb it. And then I want to come back later with my cup of tea or my cup of coffee. And I just want to paint at my own pace. That's perfectly fine. That's what I want you to do. I want you to be in the space of just creating. Now, I do love it. And a lot of people sign up and they can't watch the videos until later. I get it. People are busy. I asked what time is the best time. I've done these in the morning, I've done them in the afternoon, and I'm doing them in the evening. This time I'm doing them at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 6:30 Central Standard Time, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. Now, beyond those time zones, and I have so many people from Australia and New Zealand. I love my people that are a day ahead of me. I, unfortunately, am not the time zone converter, but Google has a wonderful time zone converter. All of the videos will be pre-scheduled and set up, and they will go into the guides, okay? So I will have fair forewarning of when those will be scheduled, and I believe you can click Get Reminder. But for those of you who are like me, I use a Google Calendar. This is not a Google commercial. You can use Yahoo. You can use whatever you use. I put it in my calendar under my time zone, and I double check, and then I triple check, because guess what? I'm the one who has to show up and have to make sure I'm there on time. But it is so true that I wish I could help. I get a lot of people who ask me and are in the UK or in other countries or other time zones. And I don't want to be the responsible one who misled you because I don't know. All right. It's easiest to look up. I'm in San Diego, but Los Angeles time zone. Somebody asked about the time change. That happens next weekend, I believe. Anybody? That won't affect it because we start on Monday. Now, it's going to be later. It's going to be lighter. It's going to stay lighter. Did that make sense? My 7-year-old has collected her supplies too, so that she can do this with me. I love that. Yeah, everybody's saying, I think it's Sunday. Sorry, I got to pop another cough drop. I don't want to cough on you with you guys. So, yeah, that shouldn't have an effect. I mean, do we lose an hour? Fall back. No, spring forward. Oh, we're losing an hour. I kid you not. When it comes to time, I live my life by my Google Calendar. It reminds me of where I need to be 15 minutes to an hour. Okay. So let's talk about that. All right. I covered that. All right. There are a lot of tips and techniques that I'm going to throw in here along the way. Not going to give them away now. No expensive supplies are needed. Okay. No expensive supplies are needed. I went in, I gave you my colors that I used, and I used really, if I did this, I would probably give 5 colors and be done. A lot of people like more colors. I went into the Facebook group this weekend. Deco Art has a color chart, and next time I'll put on the supply list and just throw those little swatches up there. If you can't use the exact colors, do not panic. Do not pass go. Do not, no. If you want to change up the colors, change up the colors. Use something that means something to you. There's a variety of pinks, red, white. By the way, you can mix white to most of these colors to make a variation of the different colors. Your background can be a different color. Your table could be a different color. I encourage you to use what you have. For those of you who want to use exactly what I've used, and I get a lot of questions. Somebody popped in about where the supplies are available. I am using Deco Art paints. I obviously have an abundance of them, but it is hard for me to gauge who uses what and all the different. I am paint agnostic. Use what you would like. And you can mix the colors, but really it's not an expensive supply list. If you break it down, I always look at materials as the supplies you're going to use over and over again versus the one-time use things. So that's why I said, if you have and you invested in punches back ago, don't run out and buy these. Just don't bother. I will show you, but some people have them. So that's a way to use your investment. A lot of people hoard supplies. I don't know who those people are, but if you're one of me, you might have supplies on hand. You might surprise yourself and be able to dig this all out and have it on hand. Now, if you've never painted before and you're like, ooh, I don't know if those are my favorite colors, wait it out. I will talk to you about colors. And the swatches are on the Deco Art color chart. I try to use colors, and this is a hit or miss all the time. Readily available. They're either new or they're bestsellers. I don't try to use discontinued colors to make it difficult because that's just not my way. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense for the paint company. So that's what I try to do. So the paints are kind of necessary. As far as prepping your work surface with the gesso, now I used a chalky gesso. No, just regular gesso. You don't need to pre-prep the canvas. We'll talk about why and when. And by the way, when you buy a white canvas, it's already primed. So if you don't want to prime it, don't. But there's a reason I do with mine. I'm not going to tell you until we get there. I'm answering the questions before you get there. All right. See, Elizabeth stood up, and my husband says my art room is like an art store. If he asks for something, I have it. So I'm betting Elizabeth is going to walk in there and find her supplies. Now, if you're having a hard time finding supplies, Elizabeth will have you over because she has an art supply store. Just come over here. Okay. Now, I talked about no expensive supplies, can be custom. The gesso can be white gesso. Doesn't I listed what I used. And I have favorites for a reason. Not my kids. Okay. I got this question a lot. Is this a sewing class? No, it's a mixed media class. Yes, there is painting involved. There is no sewing at all. Although the irony was, I said I don't sew, and this weekend I sewed a tea towel. I mean, I didn't hand make the tea towel, I embroidered it. So no sewing. Okay. I'll ease your mind. No sewing. That seemed to keep coming up. I do like to say that one thing about my art, my style, my teaching, I like to make it fun and I like to break it down. So if you're an advanced painter, you can paint at your speed. If you're just beginning, you can paint with me. I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a race. And if you're a member of your artful journey, you've had lessons that you're putting together. This is your chance to put our membership lessons into play and make it your own. One thing I love about this and doing it this way in a private Facebook group is the community that you build. And if you build it, they will come. So many people have signed up for this. I couldn't be more humbled and more pleased that people are signing up and doing this with me. I over and over I say this. Today I woke up and I was like, I get to do what I love. So that's my purpose. Anytime I can make it easier for somebody and peel back the layers is what I'm going to do. And that's how I operate. That's how I teach even when I'm at work. I teach the who, what, when, where, why, and we build from there. So on day 4, when this comes together and you're sharing as you go along your progress, you're going to see other people's work that is going to inspire you, or a light bulb is going to go off and say, I never knew, like, I never thought of that. I never thought of that. And it inspires you to do something different or approach it a different way. The support amongst the challenge members has always been so great. Thank you. I love that comment. I don't build communities in any way, shape, or form to bring in the outside world and stuff. I bring it in for empowering you to create art and inspire you. That's the purpose. Okay. I love this. Patricia, I hope you don't mind. I'm going to share Patricia's comment because I loved you. Now I have to go through all these lessons. Haven't had the confidence. This is awesome. I took her comment down just in case she didn't want me. That's exactly it. I think sometimes, and I say to people, like, they go, oh, I never knew I had it in me. You did. You just, we needed to push it out of you a little bit. All right. Okay. So I did talk about your Artful Journey members. Yes, we will be working on things you have seen before. We are pulling some of those things together because I always say every monthly lesson that you get, or prompt or technique, you're now having an arsenal of things that you can pull from. And you notice these challenges become a little bit easier for you. But I want to say this, Patricia, you brought this to light to me. The word is challenge. So I don't call this just a workshop or a class. This is meant to challenge you. This is meant to open your eyes, teach you to do something new. I want to encourage you to be challenged by this and maybe be a little vulnerable to do something new. Trust the process a little bit. I've done it no less than 6 times this way. I don't know. Somebody knows that number. All right. Talked about this at your own pace. You have all night to get to whatever. Thanks, Celine. I talked about day 1, day 2, day 3, the giveaways. All right. The cost of the challenge is $10. There is no kit involved. I thought about this and I will be doing optional kits in the future. I've had so many people ask me about that. Pardon me. Because they want it to be easier. I'm not opposed to kits. In fact, I love the idea of them. I have a custom laser wood cutting business, so I can cut out unique and fun surfaces. But when I do a challenge, I try to find products that are easily available and keep the cost down low. The cost of this workshop is $10. You get 4 days for $10. The 4 classes are spaced out for a reason. And that's because I like to break it down where, oh, we're done today. We breathe, we pick it back up the next day, and we carry on. And sometimes you got to sit in that process to enjoy that process. I think sometimes we're racing through it. And like we're all racing to get art done or create. I love to sit in that process. Like it means a lot to me. And, you know, my next project isn't going to turn out exactly like this. And I build on that. You know, you just get better. I hate the word practice, because to me, practicing sounds like when I played the flute and I had to play the music piece over and over and over, and I just got stuck and get frustrated. It's more like habit. Create a creative habit. And in like, I usually say 20, but we're going to do 35 to 45 minutes. We're building that creative habit. You're going to be 4 days in. So then I'm going to say day 5, keep going. Don't stop. Okay, don't stop. All right. So the $10 includes the class. A lot of people are asking, what is your artful journey? That is my membership. We'll talk about that. How can you join? How can you be a part of my tribe of sisters, my creative sisters? I love that. The $10 is just for this workshop. There is no need to do anything else. If you might have noticed, okay, behind me, I'll put it up here. Excuse me. Cough drop isn't working. This right here was also offered for $10. This is an 8x8 canvas. I'll just sit it on top of here. It can be any size, by the way. So utilizing my spare supplies, you get access to this right away. I offered a second class because I thought it would be nice to use your supplies if you're buying them or you already have them, to do them all over again, like to use them in a different way. So there you go. That's there as well. Your Artful Journey members, that's if you missed it or you want to do that, we can give the link to that. Anne could give the link to that. Maybe some of you didn't buy it and now regret it. You can go back in and buy it. It's not a major deal. Not required. Not required. And that is just a separate offering. It's a paid offering. It's pre-recorded. You get it right away. Your Artful Journey members, I'm sorry, since that's not airing live, that is a separate sign up. So you will need to sign up for that one if you want it. No skin off my, I just want you to know about it. Okay, there we go. Anne gave it. Okay, so I always say this too. I want you to get a lot of value out of $10. That's it. All right. Judy just says, it's easy to work on a smaller canvas, 5x5, 12x12. Oh, wait, is it easy? Oh, sorry, Judy. I can't read. Is it easy to work on a smaller canvas? For example, 5x5, 12x12, or 8x10? Absolutely. The only thing I would say when you scale things a little bit differently, rectangle, square, you can take the tracer that comes with it. The tracer comes for this vase as well. So for this vase and this jar, I'd like to say it's a jar. I save that. If you need to save that on your computer, you save it and then you scale it and print it larger or smaller to go with your. That way, if you're going larger, you don't have a teeny tiny vase. If you're going smaller, you don't have a giant vase that eats up the space. Does that help, Judy? I think I answered that question. Personally, I love to do this over and over. So I tried, and that is a PDF. When you join that private Facebook group, yes, thanks. You're welcome. When you join that private Facebook group, sorry, Gabriel, I am eating a cough drop. I can't seem to get rid of my lingering cough. So I'm not eating while I'm online. It's a cough drop. I keep talking, so I'm just going to take a sip. I don't know about you guys, but this cold and flu season just really seemed to stick with me and really brought me down mentally and physically. This weekend, I just had to say, no go. I'm staying home. I embroidered a tea towel. Okay. Let's talk. The materials list. Is in a PDF form. It is under guide 1. So is the tracer. So let me talk about next time, by the way, I'm going to throw the colors up in this column. I'm just going to throw those colors. So the list I've pretty much already gone over. The surface is a 12 by 12 canvas that I used. You can use a mixed media pad, watercolor, paper, whatever. You've had great weather. I must be suffering. Oh, we've had horrible weather from the winter blues. Oh, it's been horrible. It looked like you had a picture that included a flower punch. Do we need to buy that large punch? Dixie, please watch this video from beginning. No. I listed under optional. So I should have made that bigger and bolder. All right. Gesso, white gesso. Doesn't have to be anything special. I did list paintbrushes that I suggest, and these are just my everydays. 6 and 8 inch round, 1 inch flat brush, a liner brush, and a stencil brush. If you don't have one of those, don't panic. Do not worry. I probably could do this whole thing sticking around that 6. I just like the flat brush for the background. All right. I do use the Ranger ink pad. I love that. Don't run out and buy it if you don't have it. Adhesive, somebody asked me today, I recommended Beacon Zip Dry. It dries clear, it dries fast. I mean, the word zip is in it. Somebody said, I know people are from Canada, Australia, different countries. I don't know what everybody stocks. So I just listed a very big brand and it dries clear and quickly. Most craft, it doesn't even have to dry quickly. You just need to leave it sit overnight. So you can use any clear drying glue. I say clear drying so you don't have to see the glue. I think even, doesn't Elmer's glue dry clear? Just use that if you want. Now, the things I list, I do say a black, like if you have permanent paint pens, Posca, Sharpie, ultra fine and fine, just a permanent black pen. Some people, you might want to test some people said they bought them, like I've seen Dollar Tree. Just test them. We're not going anywhere with this, but I recommend it. Hitomi says she's a hoarder of adhesives. So if you'd like to go to Hitomi's house, she has plenty of adhesives. I love it. We're just doing show and tell. Now, as you notice, let me take this off. Oh, almost spilled my water basin. if you notice in mine, the centers are buttons. I just have a million buttons. Buttons came with this shirt. I've never sewn a button on a shirt, so I just have a million of them. Doesn't mean you have to put them in the middle. You could just cut a piece of paper. I just know a lot of people have buttons, and this weekend somebody said, look, there was like a bulk bin of buttons that you could do, scoop them out. I was like, yep, probably you're going to use those. Okay, so there's a number of things you can use in the middle. So don't get button petrified. I did list book, text, or sheet music. I wouldn't go and use your kid's textbook, but like I said, I have sheet music. I have books that I went to Borders when I went out of business and bought them for 10 cents. I use that a lot. So pick a book you don't care about. Make sure there's no swear words. Anyway, I'm kidding. I do talk about sealers. That seems to be a stressful thing. We'll talk about that. I recommended a spray sealer, but I can use a brush on sealer as well. Okay. I'm sorry for the cough. And a lot of times I like to mix up my sealers. What is this? I used like a matte sealer for this, but I wanted my flowers to pop. So I used a gloss sealer. So we'll talk about that. Again, sealers are on we'll talk about them because that's something that needs some chit-chatting about. All right, then I listed recommended colors, and I put or your favorite colors. You can mix colors. Oh, right. This is printable. It's in a PDF form. I did give a link to my Amazon affiliate store if people are wanting to get supplies. Did write at the bottom. These are suggestions. Any shade similar to these will work just fine. Do not worry about having the exact colors and use what you have. You can print this out in PDF. I am finding out, we don't know, out of the million phones and devices and types of computers, PC, Mac, everything right now is housed under guides, and we're giving links. So if you can't find something, they're PDFs. You can save them and print them. Somebody pointed out on her phone, it didn't work on her phone, but she went to her computer and it worked. So I'm unable to know all the devices, but we do help you find. So is Beacon's fabric glue, is the Beacon glue fabric glue? I'm reading that literal, so are you asking, can you use Beacon's fabric glue? I would go to Beacon's. I'm not using material on mine. There's no fabric involved. Would it work and stick? Yeah. All the manufacturers of glue companies, I happen to have worked for one, have these nice little templates that show you what glues work best on what mediums. I would just, Jennifer, I would test it out in 2 pieces of paper and let it dry and see if it sticks. I'm sure it does, but I don't want to recommend that. Do we need to gesso even if the canvas says it's triple gessoed? I did explain in the beginning of this video, if you don't have gesso and you don't want to buy it, use white paint. Okay, just use white paint. If you have gesso, have it out, because even though it is primed, I use gesso for a purpose. All right. Sorry, I mean the Beacon Zip Dry. Are you asking, is that a glue? Yes, that's a glue. It's listed right under adhesive. Yeah. Sorry, on that list of supplies as well, there are links. They're all clickable so you could see photos. And I think there's a photo too. That's it. I use this because it has a nice little thin applicator. The glue doesn't go all over. It dries fast. It's clear. I like it. Okay, that's not a commercial for them. All right. You can print the tracers and the materials list. I highly encourage you to use what you have on hand. Jennifer said, I looked at Walmart. I didn't see it. Oh, they have plenty of glues. I haven't been to a Walmart in a long while. I just went to Michael's this weekend. I haven't been to a Michael's in a long time. Used to look like Michael was my brother. I was there every day, but I went there I took everybody on a field trip there. There are probably 1,000,001 adhesives. I know that for a reason. And Hitomi has a number of them at her house. So if you need them, you can go to her house. Kidding, Hitomi. All right. So keep asking. I love all the questions. I recommend, if this is your first time, watch and learn. It's easy peasy, light and squeezy. Hitomi's like, oh, I better make some coffee cake or something. Check your local time zones. I will pre-schedule the videos 35 to 45 minutes. If there happens to be extra questions at 45 minutes, I will not say, I'm sorry, class is dismissed, and a giant bell is not going to ring. I will carry on and answer your questions. No prep needed. I do this start to finish. It is so fun. I will help in the group and be there. So once we're done, I don't go, oh, you know what I usually do? I like to save pictures and I make a slideshow of all the completed projects. Now, hopefully I'll have time. This group has gotten quite large. I can't believe the responses and people signing up. And so I'll do my best. And, I just go in and save. Thank you so much for those of you who are sharing this, tagging your friends, doing it with your girlfriends. I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I got into Facebook this weekend and I was just so thrilled. Sandra, will your Artful Journey members get a link? Yes, it has been emailed. It's in the group. And you can, Anne will go in there and put it in there again today. Right, Anne? Okay. When does this begin? March 13th through the 16th, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Don't sign up. Okay. The content will be housed in the guides to make it easy, but I always pin the video so we are all working on the same thing. I love it. Anne's on top of it. Anne, will you post the link to the group to sign up? I had some people ask me about dry times and heat guns and hair dryers. I have a heat gun right next to me. I don't think you'll need it. We're breaking it up over 4 days. There'll be dry time. We're done. We move on. Please don't let this intimidate you. If you were thinking about signing up and you're just wondering, is this above my pay grade or skill level? Somebody wrote this, that she's doing it with her mom, her daughters, 2 daughters, and she's doing it, and they're doing it for Mother's Day. I thought that was brilliant. Okay. I will talk about your Artful Journey. So if you want information on that, we're together for 4 days, not 4 days straight, but 45 minutes. And as things are going, I do like to not have just paint drying. Maybe have a little bit of a dry sense of humor that I'll share along the way. It's just more than painting. It's an opportunity for us to connect and do something creative. All right. Excuse me. I had the cough. Hopefully by next Monday, this cough will be gone. Yeah. Anne is my community ambassador in your Artful Journey and in life. And Anne just booked her trip to come here in May. Anne will be in studio and monitoring your things in May. She is coming here for a meeting. Anne is the best guide and hand holder. She really is. Anne, the one thing, and I do say this about Anne all the time, because she is the end user and was the end user, she is there to support and help you guys find your way. Now, I do ask, don't yell at her in capital letters. The day of the challenge, we'll make sure you're where you need to be, because I know that is a thing. And technology is technology. You got to remember, I'm a 52-year-old mom whose son is in computer science. I can't tell you the number of phone calls that I have with that kid to say, why is it doing this? Now, he's very sweet and no longer says operator error. We will be there. We're going to help you. Just like printing up the supply list, we're there helping you. Okay. And I'm all about just positive, fun energy. It's kind of like going to creative camp for the week, and at the last day, I don't want it to end. That's always my goal for $10. I want to do a slideshow, put it to some sappy music, and just be able to have this experience with you all, because it's part of who and what I'm about. Okay, hold on. By the way, for those of you who worry when I write notes, these are all handmade notepads that are lined, so it's all scrap paper. Watch and play, work at your own pace. Being creative is just my purpose, and sharing that is a huge part of who and what I'm about, and having fun in the process. So I want it to feel like for that $10, I'm literally sitting next to you and we're painting together. And I want it to be where all of the other amazing members are doing the same. Because I'll bet you when you ask a question, and there are no stupid questions, no silly questions. And yeah, with Facebook and any other platform, you never know who's seeing what. So it's, maybe you've heard it before, or maybe it's the first time you're hearing it. I just want you to know it's something that I enjoy doing, and it defines my business. Sorry, my 14-pound watchdog is barking at the water district guy. All right, I hope you can't hear that. Any other questions before I go? Maybe you've done one of my challenges before. Is there a tip or a trick that you guys can give? I'm here. I'm here for the next whatever. Hitomi has done a challenge or 2 or 17, has been in my in-person classes physically, adore her. So Hitomi, what do you want to say? Okay. And I just want to share this experience with you guys. And I'm sorry, I'm not ignoring you. Instagram, it's just I put everything on Facebook. Oh, okay. Elizabeth is a Nike commercial. Just do it. Oh, good. Dennis Daydream Designs. I have done many. Thank you. Watch the replay. Okay, I love this. Thank you, Vanessa. I watch the replays, do it your own pace, and enjoy. I mean, that is what it's about. Just go with the flow. There are no wrong moves. There are no mistakes. And I have made some mistakes. I am the queen of cover or up. I'll tell you what, things don't go well with the top of your ball jar, you're not going to have to worry about it. Done several. Thank you. It's so true. I just want to say, oh, Anne tagged you in your Artful Journey page for your free access to the challenge. Okay, I believe that's to somebody. All right, there. Oh, that's me, Danielle. Hi, Danielle. I don't always use my art page. Hi, Danielle. You know, a lot of people ask me too, like, like my target audience. Like, I always think about, like, who am I doing this with? And this could be anybody who is just wanting to start a new hobby, maybe you've been curious about it, or those of you who are like doing businesses and want new techniques in your arsenal, like that's important to me because I have built a business and I have been in the trenches. I am in the trenches. And this morning I was listening to my devotional, or I don't know, some feel good music or motivational thing. And I was like, I talked to myself and it was like, yeah, be an artist. I Be an artist. It'll be great. And I was like thinking, oh my goodness, like it's a lot more. So a lot of times I know I'm here. I like to support other women making their businesses because this didn't happen overnight. I wish it did. Danielle, I'm glad to know your design page. All right. Any other questions before I go? And it's funny because I think creativity is the best thing you can do. I mean, obviously, going to the gym is physically good for your body, but mentally and physically doing something creative. This weekend, I have had the energy of a slug, a sloth. Um, I just was not feeling myself. I don't know if it's the winter blues. I'm carrying a few extra COVID pounds. Um, I do not have COVID. I test for that. I had the flu and I think I had a relapse from it. Um, and that has mentally, I am a go, 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 goer. So what has felt off for me is just having to like stay in bed. So I really couldn't drag my art supplies with me. I mean, I could, but I picked, look at, I could have done, I made this shirt over the weekend. I'm kidding. I didn't. Look at, it's all embroidered though. I made a tea towel with my stamp designs. So I think creativity, and I shared this by the way, and what I used. I literally went to Michael's and said, I don't have the products. So I share everything for the most part. Oh, I'm so sorry. I have COVID again. I first discovered you in lockdown. So this was fun to see you again. I look forward to joining the challenge. A lot of you did find me during that hard time. But the good news is you did find me during that hard time. And I always say that there's things to be grateful for. And that has meant more to me than anything. So yes, I tested 3 times. Just I was so afraid that maybe I had it again. But yeah, I do come from a space of I do this for my mental well-being. And if I can share that and share a new technique or a product this weekend, people were like, oh, I didn't know that existed. And I have a garbage can that is literally 3 feet from my feet. And I have missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of paper. Yeah, I too have gone the route and been there, done that, Jennifer. It's just what it is. And if I can, take my art and be now obviously I can't take a canvas to bed, but my art journal goes there a lot. It's just I really didn't have a lot of energy and I was not feeling great. This morning I posted on Facebook and I was a little bit like, I don't know what the word was. Like, what is the word? I mean, I posted photos of me. So I guess they were I don't know, whatever, self-serving. But I don't know. I thought to myself, maybe somebody needs to hear. Like this weekend, I did go shopping and um, I went shopping and I bought 2 pairs of jeans in a size that really fits. Let me just tell you, I didn't go smaller. I went a little bit larger. And I put them on today with my teal boots and this shirt that I absolutely love and covet. And I have to paint later, so I probably should take this off. But it actually looks like what I embroidered, so it really made me happy. I put lipstick on. did my hair, sucked on one extra cough drop, and decided today I'm going to wake up, I'm going to dress up, and I'm going to show up. And I really just needed to do that. And then the best thing I did was I just woke up and I said a little thought, positive affirmation prayer about getting to share what I love so much with you guys and putting my heart and soul in it. And then I read my Jesus Listens book. I shared that as well. And I don't, I'm just a devotional kind of gal. I needed to read that and know that tomorrow is another day. And yes, sometimes life is hard and blah, 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 blah. So that is what I did. So that's my goal today. But my creativity is what helps me show up every single day to you guys. What time are you on the other page? Tonight, I will be with Dare to Be Artsy at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 7:30 Central Time. Okay. Any other questions about the challenge? I just want to thank you so much. I should probably just do this now and I'll say goodbye on Instagram. This piece is 3-dimensional. It pops off the page. I did that on purpose. And I think you can see that on Instagram. I just want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart that I get to do this with you. And for those of you who don't know me and maybe you're signing up for the first time, look at it as a week of fun. Well, 4 days, but we'll have fun. I found you during COVID. I've been blessed by the artists I have found during that time. Yeah, it's so true. I said it over and over during that time. All the cool athletes had to sit down and the cool artists got to stand up because we had stuff that we could do at home. So for all of those people, and I talked about that this weekend when we went live, a bonus little live. I was a nerdy reading, glasses, braces wearing girl who didn't really speak 5 words. And now I get to share what I love through this creativity path. And sign up. Tracy is amazing. I love our tribe. I do too. On that note, I'm just going to say goodbye on Instagram. I will stay in Facebook for just a minute more, but I do want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for tuning in. I wanted to answer all the questions. The one thing that I noticed throughout the signups in the group this weekend, it just is, there's so much excitement and everybody wants to make sure they have everything that I just wanted to ease everybody and say, let's relax and have fun. I apologize. I'm doing the vitamin C ones. Okay. Bye, Instagram. I'll talk to y'all soon. Okay. Any other questions? I'm going to take off for the day and take on my day. The good news is I work so isolated, I don't go around anybody. So I had to warn everybody at work, don't go around me. I'm going in my office and I won't come out. So that's how I work. All right. Have a wonderful day. Maybe some of you needed to hear, wake up, dress up, show up. If that's what you got out of this, I'm happy. Thank you for all the questions and the excitement. I couldn't be more thrilled. When I design this project, you never know if it's going to be a hit or a miss, and I've tried several things. I pour my heart and soul in each project as an artist, and they're not all, it's art's in the eye of the beholder, but I just feel so positive about sharing. And the bottom line is maybe it's not even the subject matter itself, it's the techniques or the confidence that you get from doing something and following along. And I always tell people, you're not taking my project home, so nobody knows what that looks like. Put your spin on it. You are going to be amazed when you see all of the different personalities that come out in that Facebook group and the different color combinations. And maybe they didn't do a button in the middle, they did something else. And you're going to be like, oh my God, I have a whole stack of those. That just opens your eyes. Inspiration is something that you put out into this world, and I swear it comes back tenfold. So I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I hope to see you guys all soon in that challenge. I mean, it starts on March 13th, so get ready. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.